Chào mừng các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình là Long. Và hôm nay thì mình không hề làm video một mình như mọi lần, mà hôm nay mình có thêm một vị khách mời rất đặc biệt ở đây. Vì vậy nên là toàn bộ video này chúng ta sẽ nói chuyện với nhau bằng tiếng Anh. Và nếu như các bạn gặp một chút vấn đề về tiếng Anh thì các bạn có thể bật phần phụ đề trong script ở dưới ha. Okay, now move on video. The first thing I want to say thank you, Mr. Pavan, to accept my invitation to come with my vlog. Okay. First of all, I think you can introduce a little bit for my audience about yourself.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking out your time and coming here to meet me on a weekend. Thank you so much for that. And to give you a short introduction about myself, as the audience might know, my name is Pavan, and I have been living in Vietnam from the past 3 years, 1.5 years in Ho Chi Minh City and the rest in Hanoi. I have been working, and my family stays here in Hanoi with me. I have been working with Bosch. We all are working with Bosch, proud to work for Bosch. So overall, I have a total of 20 years of industry experience, 18 years in Bosch.
Wow.
And I have worked as a developer and as a sensor responsible, as a air system intake path responsible engineer, and I am also working as a project manager for multiple customers from Bosch, maybe for some Asian customer, European customers, maybe some Korean and Indian and Vietnamese customers. So I have been working with Bosch, and I am happy to be here with all of you in Vietnam and working with a great team in Vietnam, Bosch.
Yes, perfectly. Okay, Pavan, I think we have something need to be agreement first, because this video we are gonna talk about with the person who currently learning in the university. So we, both you and me, we're gonna try to make everything so a little bit clear and easy to understand.
Yes.
So you can free to give the example.
Yeah, perfect.
Especially if the example is near with the life there.
Yes,
it's
I
okay.
understand.
It's better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can free with everything. Okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. So everybody, we gonna know Mr. Pavan have around approximately 20 years.
Yes.
Yeah. Just 2 years, 2 more years, right?
Yeah.
So I think it has been a long time. So the first thing, we come to the past a little bit. I wonder, when you learning in your university, what is your major?
I was an electronics and communication student. My major was electronics and communication.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Is your university have the electronic and engineering?
Yes, it's an electronic engineering.
Oh.
Yes.
So you have a both electronic and engineering and electronic communication.
Communication. Yes, yes.
So when you first registered to the university, the major, why you choose the electronic communication?
Yes. As you might know, I graduated long back in 2005.
Yes.
Back then, every electronics industry was in its early stage. So you might know that the invention of mobile and the automation tools and all these electronic items, which were in the beginning stages. So that is when I was fascinated with electronics, and I always wanted to be an engineer. So this was my dream, and that's how I came. And I was also interested in maybe a civil engineering a little bit, but yeah, the comfort of an electronic engineer came to me. Civil maybe to go out, and I don't like sweaty environments and staying outside. So electronics was my draw, and I was more interested in the gadgets. So that's what drew me to electronics.
Yeah, I forgot it, because when you study in university, the electric is just started with the analog, right?
Yes, so
and
we were just
digital.
digitizing at that time. So you know all the latest inventions. Maybe the smartphone came somewhere in 2007 and 2008.
Yes.
All the developments happened during that time, and that is when I got very interested in electronics and communication. So I wanted to be a part of this revolution happening in the world.
And I saw in most of the film in India, I don't know what exactly the time in this film, but
Yeah.
I saw that the student in India, they mostly like the mechanic engineering. Is that
Yeah.
your no?
Not really.
Not really.
So
Mechanic in the
previously,
past?
maybe around 25 or 30 years back, the thinking was if you want to be an engineer, it's only two options: mechanical or civil. So
Okay.
so you build bridges and you
Oh.
make machines.
Okay.
So that was the main intention.
Okay.
But over the course of time, you might be knowing I'm from Bangalore.
Yeah.
So it is the Silicon Valley of India. So that is where all these electronics and the computer, the software revolution happened in India.
Yeah.
So that's when I was studying in Bangalore at that time, and I happened to see so many new developments and so many new innovations happening around me. So then it is not only mechanical or civil, it's also the other topics, maybe electronics and communication, and this is where the base for the IT revolution was happening in India between 2000 to 2005. That is when.
Yeah. I have one question. I think the same happened with the Vietnamese student as from now.
Yes. Yes.
That's when you choose the major in university. If you luckily, you know what you want to be, you know what you need to learn.
Yes.
You have your major in your head.
Yes.
But most of everybody, they don't know about the job and don't know about the other thing that we know as from now. So mostly they choose the major based on the trend. So
Okay.
is this the electronic communication is your trend in this?
No.
No trend?
I really wanted to be an electronics engineer. But of course, I had some preferred universities where I had to be, and apart from that, the one thing was I was sure about what I wanted to be. After I finished my school, this is where I wanted to be a graduate. So I was very sure about it because I knew, because as I was in Bangalore, I knew what was happening around in the industry. So I really wanted to know, enter the right area of specialization, and I was right from my childhood I was interested in handling gadgets, opening it up and then repairing them, and this was always my dream. So yeah, that's how I got into it.
I want to know more about your passion with the mechanic and the board and something you don't you have
Yes.
the passion with it.
Yes, I have the passion during my maybe school days. I was always interested in the transistors and maybe how to I used to read how I can create an amplifier. With the transistors, and I think you have a breadboard, right? Do you know the breadboard? With breadboard, I used to get the resistors and see maybe just have an input and see how the sound just gets amplified. So with a magnet and the transistors and connecting the common emitter and common collector configuration in the transistor. So that's when I started getting more and more ideas, and when I started getting these more information about electronics and how they can be used in day-to-day life. So I got more and more drawn into it. So yeah.
Your passion with the amplifier exactly same with my friends. They already learning university the same class with me.
Yes.
He also have the same passion that he really want to make a sound, the amplifier.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
to listening music, and that's the reason they choose the electronic and engineering. Khánh, if you are currently watching this video, so you have the same person, had the same passion.
Yeah, one thing I would like to tell all the viewers that if you can experiment something before you go to the university and try to see where your passion is, try to experiment something and try to see what is that excites you, and then try to work in that way. I happened to be at the right time at the right place.
Yes.
So I was able to do an electronics engineer, but I don't think anybody has to limit themselves to the current stream. If you are passionate about anything, try to work through it, and I think everybody is going to get successful in that.
That's one thing. Choose the major based on your passion.
Yes,
interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't think about making money right at the start. So that should not be the case. if you know what you are drawn into, and if you know what you really want to do, if you are an expert, I think definitely money will follow once you are an expert in it.
Your advice correctly with the one sentences I have heard in the film 3 Idiots, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, he said that, okay, follow your passion, follow to become better in your major.
Yes.
And the money, the successful, and will follow you.
Will follow, yes. That's automatic, yeah.
Yeah, I think that is a quote for nowadays. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. As we know about your career path, why choose your major. So, when you learn in the university, is there something that's making you realize that learning in university is not same with your imaging? For example, with me, when I start in the university, I have just thinking that when I start in university, I will make many bigger things. I will make this board, for example, like amplifier. I make a robot. I make a computer or something else like this.
Yeah.
But when I come to the university, the first and the second years, everything I learn is mathematics. Everything I learn is basic subjects. Have you have the same feel?
Yes. So for a strong building to be built, the foundation has to be as deep as possible and as strong as possible. So to get innovative ideas, to get creative ideas, if you don't have a proper base on mathematics and the basic sciences, I think building up on ideas and innovation would not be possible. So yeah, maybe for a first year, for the first few months, I felt a little upset that I'm not doing what I'm interested in. But of course, I knew that if I become good at the basic science and the maths, I think year 3 and year 4 was so easy for me. I could just do very well in them because of my strong base in the first 2 years. So that is my advice to all the new engineers. Don't get disheartened by what is in your syllabus. Always everybody says that what I learn and what I do is completely different. That's the mindset, but it's all for the good.
Yes,
it's always for the good. So it will take some time, but you will be much better once you know the basic.
So you realize that way you realize that, right?
Yes.
In the first year.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe for the first few months it was always difficult, but after that it's always smooth sailing. Once I understand, the foundation has to be really, really good.
I have a little bit like my code for before I start everything that I really want to know the way the game working. So you know the way the game working, the learning working in university right in the first year. Okay, perfect. So, you know the strategy. So what is your strategy in the university to become a better engineer after leave the university? What is your strategy?
Okay, one strategy, I don't have a clear strategy in the sense. The point is I wanted to do well in whatever major I am doing in. So the first point is understand the concepts of whatever you are doing. Basically, there are some there is a subject that I learned in my 3rd year. It's called integrated circuits. I think all of you would have known.
Yeah, we have.
And this is one subject where I was always getting confused. Okay, so I had to work out a lot. The point is understand the concepts. That's my simple strategy. Without understanding, don't jump into the implementation part. So that is my basic advice to all my the listeners, that don't go directly to the implementation. Try to understand what the concept is. So that is my simple strategy. So once you understand the concept, I think you will be able to solve it very easily, solve any problem easily, because the ideas keep flowing.
Yes,
based on your concept.
Yeah, one of my experience about understand the concept is in university we are learning about the MCU, how to code the MCU, right? The microcontroller. And whenever I understand the concept of microcontroller, and when I work in our company, I directly apply the concept with the same hardware that we're
Yes.
gonna do. So it's easier for me to understand. Okay, so
just sorry to interrupt you. Just a short point from my side. So you said microcontroller and microprocessor. I think once you know the basics of a microcontroller, the latest upgraded microcontrollers are just an upgraded version of them. Then the basic concept still remains the same.
Yes.
So you can play around with it in any way you want because you understand the basic, and you can always be good once you know what you're doing.
Yes,
that's
perfect.
That's what I wanted to
Okay. There's one point when we learn in university that we all know about that the university they teach us about the foundation of everything.
Yes.
It means the range is very, very big. So I absolutely sure that there's some subject in your learning part you might not understand or you feel a little bit difficult.
Yes.
So how you resolve with this subject?
Okay. During my third or fourth year, I was sure about what I wanted to concentrate on as my major.
Okay.
And my project work in the fourth. In India, we have a project work in the fourth year. So we'll have to do an industry internship and a project. So I was sure about what I need to do. However, I wanted to, as you told, there were some subjects. Maybe we had some subject called operating systems, like the theory part. I'm very bad at theory part, so it's understanding the kernel and the disk operating system, the basics of it was very tough. So I made sure I was able to be an average student in it, to be honestly. So I did not want to neglect the one, but I knew what I had to concentrate on. I certainly do not advise this to all of them, but but this was my simple strategy: be an average student in that, so to get through it, but stay focused on your long-term goals, what you want to do. On your strong areas, build up on your strong areas. And there are subjects that as I told you, operating systems, or maybe I had maybe some neural networks and fuzzy logic, some subjects like that, which are too much theory based, which I had a lot of problems. So I tried to understand the basics of it and get through the subjects. That was my main plan.
It the same happened with me. There's a lot of subject related to communication. I feel a little bit difficult to understand it. And my strategy also same like you. And I think it will happen even not even when we learning in university. It's also happen in our life. There's many things. And we need to know what is priority and what need to focus on. And that's why.
Exactly.
So I think I totally agree with your strategy that we not advise that we leave the subject outside. Okay, but we need to learn a little bit to know as much as possible and try to get the minimum score.
Come out of it,
to finish this subject,
And one thing is, don't take a lot of pressure on yourself. So engineering is just a temporary phase of your life. Maybe the university is 4 or 5 years. So life is not finished after that. Your life is just starting after your engineering. So some subjects might be tough, where you might be doing a little tough, you might not be well, but don't worry, that's not the end of your life for it. You have better things to do after your engineering.
Yes, I think it's perfectly okay. We move on the first years of your career path. What's in major you have just finished the university and you working in?
There is a company called Wipro. It's a software services company in India. It's a very big company. So right now, I think more than 400,000 people work there. So back then, I started as a trainee engineer in Wipro. You can search it online. It's a very big company in India. So I started supporting as a hardware engineer. So I was into hardware validation. So maybe I used a language called Verilog.
Verilog, we know about it.
Verilog and VHDL. And maybe I was making the test monitors for controllers, for digital controllers. So for ARM,
I don't know.
There is a I think they supply all the chips for all the controllers, like Qualcomm.
Like Qualcomm and NXP, right?
Yes,
Okay.
the ARM is a they supply controller cores.
ARM.
ARM, yes.
Okay.
So we had and Xilinx, you know Xilinx.
Xilinx, yes. Vivado Xilinx, right?
Exactly, Xilinx and Altera. So I used to make the functional monitors, the testing monitors, which will mimic the hardware. And once the hardware gives out the output, the same input is fed into the monitor, and we compare the results of these two. This was my first work, maybe for the first 2 years.
So, when you have just started the work like the designer, right? The chip designer, okay.
No, it was a maybe validation engineer.
Validation engineer, okay. The first thing you feel harder when you start to work, do you remember the first thing make you feel difficult?
Yes. The first is the deadline. The hard deadlines. That
really?
In my engineering, we never had any deadlines, and for a small task in my industry internship, I had 6 months to prepare the documentation, everything. So it was very relaxed. I thought industry will be the same way as my project that I did, but it's not the same thing. One major thing that I had to do, that I learned, is you have to learn the concepts very fast. And industry is much more advanced than your university. And after that, you need to be on your toes, because everywhere money matters in industry. You need to make money for the company, right? So you have hard deadlines, and you will have to respect those deadlines. So this is one thing I found it a little bit difficult to transition into the industry. So this was my main point.
What about the technical point, the technical thing about the company? What is your strategy to learn the specialized knowledge of your company? You read the documents, or you have the supervisor to asking or something else?
Okay, one thing that I would like to tell everyone is, in industry, everybody is running their own race. So even if somebody wants to help you, they can only guide you what to do, but it's on you how you become better version of yourself. So I always had a plan with getting some guidance from my seniors, from my supervisor, but I made it a point to read the documentation thoroughly. I think we did not have internet so advanced like we have now, maybe in 2005, 2006. We had some basic information, but I was always keen on reading the company documentation, understand the concept of the hardware, and try to experiment, right? Initially I think it's always tough coming to the industry. You will have to struggle a little bit, maybe the initial phase of struggle, maybe for 6 months to 1 year, until you understand the game of the industry and how you have to outperform yourself with every project. So once you do that, you are really going to do well. So that was my strategy. Do a lot of self-learning, and discuss with your seniors what is the trend. Just go for coffee with them, just go for lunch with them, understand what they are speaking about. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You might not get all the answers, but don't be afraid to ask all questions, and don't be afraid to go and say that you can do something, because people always are looking for help. So if you are talking to them, you know what is that they want. So just accept some opportunities. You will get opportunities. Be always ready to get opportunities, and take that risk in the first few years. So if you take the risk, the rewards will be very high. So try to understand and support what the company wants. So that maybe initially you do that, and then you start getting what you want.
Yes,
for sure.
It's perfect. So how long have you been working in this company?
For the first company, I was working for 2 years.
2 years?
Yes. Then I joined Bosch. After that, maybe 3 months I worked in a small startup. But I did not spend a lot of time in that because I got into Bosch. So this is where I wanted to build my career in. So I just I started working with Bosch, and from 2007 till 2025 I have been with Bosch throughout.
I think a little bit personal, but when you choose Bosch, you choose by the the major, the automotive industry, or you choose the brand? Which is more in this moment?
A bit of both. Because Bosch was offering control engineering, which is one of my interesting subjects that I have been working with, automotive control engineering. So that is one point, and also having had not so good experience in a startup, so I wanted to be with a brand which is very stable and where I can also be an individual contributor to bigger projects. So a brand was also something what I was looking for. So it's a bit of both, not the same. Yeah.
So, as I understand, you have the two interesting. One is the design, the chip, and the other is automotive. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you're interesting with the automotive. So, what the first role in Bosch you worked?
Yes, I was. I worked as a software development engineer for a European customer.
European customer?
Yes. So I was working with the injection system development, maybe for the first 6 months. Then I worked in the air path of diesel vehicles. So air path, in the sense, we will do the calculation of how much of air would be necessary for diesel combustion. So that's the calculation that you do on the intake air path. So this is where I was doing modeling of the air path, and then I was a pressure system responsible for pressure sensor responsible for all the intake air path. Yes.
I think we should set up the point of view for our audience because they already a student that not like in the university we do on the project. In the industry we just do some part in the project.
Yes,
and
of course.
In software we have the function, right? And some team had do some function and some team collect all the function and combine it to the full software. So it means the first career path you work like the build up the one function of the software, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, it means you have worked with a little bit close with the hardware, right?
Yes, I worked actually with the pressure sensors maybe for 7 years. I have worked for 7 years.
Yeah. Okay, so you work a little bit deeper with the hardware. Okay, so after that, how long you work in the software function developer?
Okay, as a software function developer, maybe for from 2007 to 2010, and 2010, 3 years, and 2011 to 2014, I was a package responsible for for pressure sensors. Yeah, so that was my specialization during these 4 years.
Oh, okay. So as from now, you no longer working in the technical range, technical part, right?
Yeah.
So come back with the point that you decide to turn to the manager line. What were you thinking? Why you think you leave the technical and change to the management?
Okay, the transition happened so gradually that I don't realize when I changed from a technical guy to a completely management guy. It was somewhere in 2014 where I got a chance to work with one of the Asian customer. Where there was a very good mentor of mine. He was at a senior management level who thought I can do well with people management as well as support the technical management. In 2014, end of 2014, he asked me to join his team. So they do the customer engineering.
Yes.
So this is when I started working as a software project manager.
Software project manager, okay.
Yeah, so here is where I started supporting customer deliveries and also internally supported the software engineering activities. So this is where slowly I learned the small aspects of project management, but I was also thoroughly involved in all the development activities. The team was very small, maybe 3 or 4 members, where we had to do all these activities together. So that's when I used to guide people, and I also used to involve myself in development. Maybe after 3 or 4 years, slowly my role as a developer started reducing. Maybe by 2019, it was, I think, somewhere around then when I completely stopped on the development. So, and I totally focused on
the management
activities.
Oh,
yes.
A little bit. The change is a little bit naturally.
Yes.
Very slow.
Very organic change.
Yeah. It's based on your situation, your context in there.
Yes.
That's the team need a management.
Yes.
Needs a manager.
Exactly.
So you stand up and do the management.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's what was required from me, since I was also one of the senior members of the team. So I had people were looking up to me how the things needs to be done or driven forward. So that's when I started supporting my management activities, and the change was never like I want to be a manager. It was all I happen to be a manager.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's based on demand, right?
Demand, and eventually I started enjoying it very much.
Okay. So about us from now as a management now, how do you feel about the management? It's difficult, and if we compare with the technical, it is difficult and technical, or there's something you compare with the technical?
Definitely people management or management in the sense is always tougher than technical, because machines don't lie. I always tell that. Or machines work as you intend them to be.
Yes.
Maybe 1,000 times you give something as an input, the same output comes.
Yes.
Right? It will never change.
Yeah.
But in terms of people, the reactions keep changing. It's not the same output every time you give the same input. So always I feel human nature is unpredictable, and every interaction is a challenge, and every activity involving people management is definitely tougher as per me. But the way you handle people, it's always important. So I feel people management is a little tougher job than technical.
Yeah. I would like to share a little bit about the mindset of most Vietnamese people. I think as from now is a little bit reduced, but in the past, most parents really want their child to become the manager, because we consider that in the industry, the workers, the engineer is always below the manager. That's why we always call the manager is Bosch. How do you think it's really need the engineer to become a manager, or they can go ahead with the technical? And how do you feel about it?
Yes. See, manager in a company, especially with the culture and values of Bosch that I have seen, it's a very horizontal organization. There is no distinction, or the manager should not be considered as a boss. The engineer and the manager are equally important in the company. So I really want to focus on that. And for somebody who think that manager is more or less, I feel there is no such thing. So please don't work to become a manager. If management happens, if you become a manager during your working, and if you enjoy it, please take up the role then. And managers are not bad. Maybe I think many students might think that going to management means making a lot of maybe your friends might not be your friends anymore, and you might have to take hard decisions, and it might be difficult. But yes, things happen, but if you know how to handle the people, I think it's always experience based, and you will not be able to keep everybody happy. So that is always there. Even in life, this is not going to be the case. So if you become a manager through life, it's always good. But if you choose a career path and technical, there is nothing wrong in it. I think you can always be a technical person. I have many examples, seen many examples where people have been technically really good and contributing at the top level, and they don't really have to be a manager for it. As an individual contributor, you can always do that.
So
that's always there.
That's the point of view that we have give the new mindset for everybody. I think in some company in Vietnam, they still arrange that the engineer is below, but there's we have a new point of view that the management and the technical always parallel with.
Exactly.
And I always give the example for my viewers that if we stand on the view of the product. If we leave the technical out, management cannot do anything.
Management is nothing.
And if
nothing.
we leave the management out, technical cannot do anything. Cannot make the product.
It's like you need a driver for a car who has to drive to a destination. But for a car to work, all the components have to work at the same time, right? You cannot say component is a car component is bigger or a driver is bigger. Everything is the same.
Everything the same.
We have to reach the destination finally. That's the main idea.
Yes, perfect. So. You have been working in the automotive industry around 18 years.
18 years now, yes.
So you have faced with many situations of the economy, the same situation as from now. We have a difficult time for not only the automotive, I think everything is gone difficult. So how do you feel that about the automotive industry, especially automotive engineering, is still alive, still needed for the future? If compare with, for example, AI engineer or something else, it's very changed as from now. You need.
As I told earlier also, please follow what is your passion. So that is the first thing what I want to tell. And coming to your question of, is there a future, maybe a future for automotive industry? That you see, people have to buy cars, right? So maybe a car which is used for after 10 or 12 years, they will have to buy a new one, maybe take it out and buy a new car. So people will not stop buying cars just because the economy is going down or yes, there will be new inventions happening, new innovations that are coming in, but of course we need people in all facets of life, and similar to that, automotive engineering is also one. It will not go out of scope, but we need to keep upgrading ourselves with the latest industry standards. We cannot say we will still do the diesel technology, which is maybe many customers as of now seem to come to electric vehicle now. So be a master in diesel, but learn the electric vehicle concepts as well, so that you are good at both. And that's the main point.
We need to keep update ourselves day by day.
Now the industry is everywhere. It's very important to keep updating ourselves. Yes,
it's very important, not only in the automotive, it's also many
absolutely
technical. Okay, so because why I asking this question, because many audience in my channels, they really concerned about as from now the trend is AI, the trend is making website or game or something else. They worry that for example, you like you and me, we have many engineers currently working in the automotive, and if the demand not higher, so the hit count for the new person is much less. So they really concerned that, because as from now they maybe the third year or the fourth year of the university, and they really want to choose the career path in the future. So that's why they really care about the trend. But I think, as you told, we just keep on. If we choose the path for ourselves, we just go ahead in this road, and
and try to be a good one. Yes, that's very important. So
that's very important. I think we have a long conversation. So I think to close the videos, let's imagine that the Pavan of 25 years like me sit here. Is there anything you want to tell with yourself in the past to become better?
There are definitely some things that I would like to say. Don't get don't be happy with whatever you have right now. What happened with me is I was not very happy with the startup that I worked with. Then I joined Bosch. Then I became so happy that I did not upgrade myself maybe for 3 or 4 years. I was happy doing whatever I want. And then suddenly when I saw outside, I see that people have moved on. It's all, people have become much better. Because one thing I would like to say is, just because you completed your university doesn't mean that you stop studying. You start upgrading yourself. Do the things that you are always passionate about. I was always passionate about electronics. For the 4 or 5 years I joined Bosch, I was very content. I was thinking, I have a very good and secure job now. I will concentrate on maybe my family and others. That's important, of course, but try to upgrade yourself. Try to read and try to see what the world is going about. So try to upgrade. That's very important. 25 years of me, I would tell him that just focus a little bit on upgrading yourself every day, and maybe a half an hour, 15 minutes of reading or practicing something every day will take you a long way. That's my
it's become to the self-learning is very important.
Very important. Never feel that things will be the same always.
It's lead to another question that there are two types of engineer working. I think not only engineer, also with other jobs. The one guy is they find the company and they work in company for a long time, same as you.
Like me, yes.
You work in there, but there's some person. For example, when you look outside the company, you see, oh, my friend work in this company. He has very high salary. Or my friend work in this company. He go outside many times and he looks so happy. So whatever, if I stay in here for many times for 10 years or more, 20 years, so is this good choice? So what do you think about this?
Okay, there are two ways to look at it. One is, are you satisfied with what you have? So that is very important. If you are not satisfied, then you will have to understand what is that makes you happy. Is it the money? Is it the travel? Is it the work? Or is it the work-life balance? So you have to choose between these four. So for me, it was the work-life balance which Bosch gave me. And it is not that I was struggling with my job. And Bosch gave me enough so that I can lead a comfortable life. So that was important for me, and I was able to involve myself in state-of-the-art projects. So very big car companies for whom we were doing the projects for. So even now I'm happy that I'm working for Vietnamese customer, and I'm really happy that they are doing well. I'm happy seeing their growth. Of course, as I told you, if you are good at something, things will follow. One example is, I have spent 18 years in Bosch, so I can see that I have traveled for more than 5 or 6 years. I have traveled to Germany, I have traveled to, now I'm in Vietnam, I was in Korea for a long time. So it doesn't matter if you are good at whatever you do, you stay at the same company or you are moving around. Just try to contribute and be your best wherever you are. Don't try to compare yourself with the other. Once you start comparing, that's when you start losing in the race. Always don't run in your own path. Don't see who is on the left or right side of you. Don't worry about it, because there are a billion people on this world. So if you start comparing yourself to everybody, it makes no sense. We will always find we are at the last.
So the key point is we need to know what we need.
And never compare yourself. The day you start comparing, I feel we are going down on that day. So never compare yourself with others.
I think it's the good. And maybe the last point, what do you feel about the relation between the Vietnam and India as from now? How do you feel about the technical is
Okay. I feel having worked with both Vietnamese and Indians, Vietnamese are extremely good. Technically, I think they are really good. Not as a, maybe I don't want to compare Indians and Vietnamese. I think there are both of them are good in their own ways. Yes, the relationship, I feel it's extremely good as an expat really living in Vietnam. I feel Vietnamese are one of the most friendliest people that I have worked with, to be very honest, and Vietnam has given me a lot of good things, and I hope I have been able to contribute well to the Vietnamese. So yeah, technically they are really good, hardworking people, and I think Indians are always loving the Vietnamese. That is the general perception of all the Indians towards Vietnamese. So I feel this is only going to get better. So in the future. So yes.
I think because mostly our culture a little bit the similar. Yes. Similar.
Exactly.
So yeah, we have something is really. And with me, I also really like to work with the Indian peoples. I feel the first thing, you know, we have a little bit joke, but it's really that whatever about the technical point you don't know, just go to YouTube and there's one Indian guy teach you.
Exactly.
Exactly. So I feel the Indian always has a good teacher, and they really know how to explain the thing about technical by the easiest way than the other. That's the way I feel. Okay, I think this video a little bit long, so the last I will say thank you. You spend a lot of time for us and give us many experience about the technical, about your point of view. As from now, it's very good for us. And for the audience, if you have any concern or something, comment, just leave a comment, and I think you can come to my channel and you can directly reply the comment.
Yes, we can have more interactions like this, and I can clarify if there are some concerns for sure.
And if you really want like this concept video, the Vietnamese and the Indians, we
can do more of it.
Yeah, we can do more of this. Okay. So thank you, Pavan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Long. Thank you for your time.
Thank you everybody.
Thank you.
See, and you can say goodbye. Xin chào.
Xin cảm ơn. Xin chào. Hẹn gặp lại.
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pavan.